To New York State right now, in that news conference that Governor Elliot Spitzer is holding right now. And actually, I'm being told this news conference is being held in Washington, D.C. Nikki, do you want to listen in a little bit? He's talking about the controversial driver's license program that he proposed for his state. Let's listen in.
It is also clear that even if I could convince the public of the utility of our cause, the legislative process and any number of mounting obstacles would have prevented us from moving forward. The result would have been the defeat of this proposal, and even worse, a roadblock to solutions on so many important issues, like revitalizing our economy, lowering the cost of health care while improving quality and access, restoring excellence to our educational system, and reducing property taxes. It is for these reasons that I will not move forward with this plan. Indeed, a consequence of the federal failure is that Americans and New Yorkers are demanding a comprehensive solution. Piecemeal reform, even if practical, is unacceptable. It fails to address the many important competing interests and values. I underestimated that sentiment in putting forward this proposal. Beyond the crisis of illegal immigration that I've tried to address in some small way, please allow me this brief observation about another crisis, the crisis of political discourse in this country that was on full display these past 2 months. While people of good faith opposed my plan for fair reasons, some partisans unleashed a response that has become all too familiar in American politics. In New York, forces quickly mobilized to prey on the public's worst fears by turning what we believe is a practical security measure into a referendum on immigration. Political opponents equated minimum wage undocumented dishwashers with Osama bin Laden. Newspaper headlines equated a driver's license for an undocumented migrant worker with a passport to terror and a license to kill. Based on the New Yorkers I speak to each and every day, I feel confident in saying that this rhetoric is wildly out of step with mainstream values, doing nothing to offer solutions and everything to exploit fear. In his new book, political analyst Ron Brownstein calls this a crisis of hyperpartisanship, a crisis which has unnecessarily inflamed our differences and impeded progress against our most pressing challenges. Nothing reflects the result of hyperpartisanship more than the current immigration debate, which has become so toxic that any time a practical proposal is put forward, it is shot down before it even can be weighed on its merits. The consequences of this fear-mongering is paralysis. Here are the facts. Tomorrow, undocumented workers will not stop driving. The federal government is not going to deport 1 million undocumented workers from New York by the end of this year any more than it did last year or the year before. And we can be sure that those who beat their chests the loudest will still have no solution whatsoever.
Alrighty then, saying it was a toxic political environment that would have defeated his proposal, New York's Governor Elliot Spitzer saying he will not move forward with his controversial driver's license program for illegal immigrants. You may remember that program and questions about it is what tripped up Hillary Clinton during the Democratic debate. And now Governor Elliot Spitzer backing off on his proposal in this news conference being held right now in Washington, D.C. We'll be talking a lot more about this coming up.